Greetings, YouTube. There's been quite a bit of discussion behind the scenes, at least on my Line app chats, about whether or not the new increase in rewards for Alliance Wars Seasons 11 and beyond, I guess, are worth the trouble. And so some people think absolutely, some people don't. But instead of just trying to say, well, is it better than before? It really does help to have a visual aid showing what the before and after is regarding the rewards quote unquote buff. And so I'm very excited today to bring you a video that is featuring some infographics courtesy of the summoner Brimstone's 10K. This guy reached out to me and he said that his alliance mates were having the same conversations I had brought up in videos about the rewards, kind of the plus minus, if you will. And so he said, he wanted to make these and help me kind of talk about it in a video with the visual component. So I very much appreciate that. As always, there are so many amazing people in this community that not only make my job easier, but they make my job fun. So the top is the old and the bottom is the new. So for the top 20 alliances, you can see that the 6-star shards have almost doubled. The 3,000 plus 5-star shards is a nice bonus. You do have the tier 5 class catalyst fragment crystals weeding their way in now. You also have almost a double of the tier 5 basic catalyst fragments, which is 31,500. The tier 2 alpha fully formed remains the same, but then you add 27,000 more. You stay with the Alliance War crystals of 6, though those did get a buff. And it kind of makes sense to just lose the tier 4 class catalyst crystal, right? Like, people at the end, they probably have hundreds of those, certainly tens of those. They don't need those. And you double the tier 4 basic because, why not? So when we go to the Platinum 1 level, almost a double of the 6-star shards as well. 3,000 more 5-star shards, which is really nothing to brag about. But then you do have a nice increase in the chunk of tier 5 basic catalyst fragments from 11,250 to 27,000. You get the fully formed tier 2 alpha plus half of one instead of not even a fully formed, which is really nice. I think the Plat 1 people will very much appreciate that. You take away the tier 4 class catalyst once again, double the tier 4 basic, and continue with the 6 war crystals, which should be way, way better. Now, Plat 2, keeping with the theme of increasing 3,000 5-star shards, that happens for this tier as well. The 6-star shards do not increase nearly as much, though. You could say, well, it is almost double, but to me, 1,500 6-star shards at this point in the game, you can get those pretty easily with offers. So the difference in 2,000 versus 3,500, it's better than nothing, but I think they should have doubled it. They should have made at least 4,000, and that 500 difference could be much better. Now, I will say this in the defense of this tier. The tier 5 basic catalyst fragments exploded, right? Almost 4 times as many for the buff as they were in the old, 22,500 from just 5,625. That's awesome. Got a huge increase in the tier 2 alpha, even though, like I've said, those are also pretty easy to get now. Lost the tier 4 class catalyst, keeping the theme of that, keeping the same 5 war crystals, and doubling the tier 4 basics. So there is a trend with a lot of these, as you can see. Platinum 3 increasing by 3,000, increasing by 1,000, 6-star. So the Plat 3 and the Plat 2 difference, is it really that much given the difficulty? I don't know. I haven't been in Plat 3 in a long time. Thank God for everyone involved. And so I don't know. Maybe Plat 2 and Plat 3 are basically the same now, but maybe that's not the case. Maybe some people would much rather actually stay in Platinum 3 and have a little bit worse rewards, but not spend nearly as many units and boost. Really, this always comes down to assuming that you care about how many items and units you use per Alliance War Seasons. Is the reward output worth what I'm putting into it? And that's kind of the question you got to ask yourself. For some people, they don't even care about the rewards. They just want the competition, and I respect that, but I will certainly never, ever be that person in this game. In fact, no Alliance War makes me so happy. Now, I used to be Gold 1 for the majority of my life in Alliance War Seasons, and so I used to have that 10%, that 1,000 6-star shards. They have doubled this one, and I think that's awesome. I think that certainly is appreciated. They doubled the 5 stars, doubled the 6-star shards, and on top of that, really, by almost 13 times increased the tier 5 basic amount. They also increased the amount of War Seasons crystals by 1, which is really the first tier we've been able to see that. So if you're asking me what tier seems to have gotten the biggest buff, on paper, it's Gold 1 to Platinum 4. And I know Platinum 4 didn't exist before, but it's really, really nice to have this new tier. I know people are like, Plat 4, what the heck is that? But that's kind of the sweet spot. I would imagine it's much easier than Plat 3 and Plat 2. And even though it's a little bit harder than Gold 1, there are a lot of alliances that are really good kind of stuck in Gold 1. So maybe this will actually give them a boost. And the rewards are just crazy better. Like I said, almost 13,000 Tier 5 basics, which is about 13 times. And by almost, I mean over. I don't know why I said that. All right, we're going to continue to Gold 1 because that, a small increase. In this case, you have kept the same crystals, increased the Tier 2 Alpha quite a bit, and the Tier 5 Basic quite a bit. So the Gold 1 and Plat 4 now are still the tiers that I think are what the average, like, not hardcore, but still cares about their alliance, cares about war. That's what they should strive to do, be in the Plat 4 Gold 1 alliance tiers. And that is kind of what I wanted to end this video on, because I think everything else Gold 2 and below, even though I'm sure summoners would care about it, and that might demand a separate video, and maybe if you want to see that, comment below, let me know. For the sake of, I think, the majority of the hardcore war players and even the moderate ones, Gold 1 and above really were the tiers that I wanted to talk about today, and not have this video be 20 minutes long, because as you know, I value your time too much to ramble for 20 minutes unless I'm talking about like 100 plus champs in a rank up video, for example. So yeah, Gold 1 is kind of split now. This Platinum 4 tier on paper is my favorite. For those of you who are at the top of Gold 1 and you fall now into this Plat 4, you've gained an Alliance War Seasons Crystal. You have gained so much in terms of Tier 5 Basic especially, but even Tier 2 Alpha. You also double the 6-star shards and double the 5-star shards that you were used to. So this new tier is awesome. Now, in regards to everything else, Plat 3 looks awesome. Plat 2 seems to be the thing that's kind of stuck in between the two. I don't know what the difference is in difficulty between Plat 2 and Plat 1, but if I was Plat 2, I would definitely want those Plat 1 rewards. And then, of course, the Masters are going to get rich. The rich get richer, as they say, but these are also the alliances that often do all they can, hopefully by legal means, to win. And so they're the cash cows for Alliance War for Kabam. They are the alliances that they try to tempt with the best rewards and hopefully in return get the most profit, as they are a for-profit company. So what do you think, YouTube? I'm very curious. I really think this video boils down to, I don't know what the title of this is going to be, but probably something like Platinum 4 rewards are a huge jump. Because I would think for a lot of alliances who are just hanging out in Gold 1, you might as well go for that Plat 4. That to me seems like the takeaway from my objective end, knowing that my alliance currently actually has no motivation, given how much we're enjoying not doing Alliance War, to get back in. Good luck with these rewards for everybody else, but to not worry about the drama of killing bosses in time. We just had, at the time of filming this today, alliances messaged me because there are going to be people who are like, they shouldn't have waited till the last minute. I get that perspective, but sometimes you can't help it. And they were pushing to defeat the last boss. We had that emergency maintenance, and then, of course, by the time they came back, they had lost the Alliance War, and had they knocked down that boss, they would have won. So that kind of stress, ain't nobody got time for it. My alliance currently finishes map 5 in Alliance Quest with like 6 to 7 hours to go every day. So you don't have to worry about rushing at the end to finish. And at the same time, your champions get released. You're not placing defenders in Alliance Quest. And the Alliance Quest rewards are so dang good that I just still think the fun, the guaranteed enjoyment, and the rewards output versus what you put in still makes sense for Alliance Quest. These rewards increase. I mean, it's nice, but it's not nice enough to take away from Alliance Quest. I think most alliances should still focus on that, even if you care about war, and that is my official advice as I end this video. Thanks for watching, YouTube, and thanks again to the summoner, Brimstones 10K, for providing these awesome comparison screenshots to make my job easier and hopefully to make your job more enjoyable in terms of regurgitating and digesting complex, sometimes, information.